We're back for video number 2. I am the Deacon. This is the Deacon Speaks channel. I meant to have some videos done last week. I actually sat down and got all ready to share a topic that I wanted to talk about on Sunday. You can see in the title, Self-Enlightenment, dealing with self-enlightenment, how to deal with self-enlightenment. The reason I wanted to talk about this topic, I think it's pretty relevant. I think for me, it's been quite relevant in the past couple of weeks, maybe the past month or so. Been having a lot of periods of intense focus, followed by possible ambiguity in terms of intent, vision, goals, my track, the path, where I'm going. Kind of wanted to do a video about it, not only to help me kind of get back on track, but also I just feel like it can help a lot of people. The reason I believe that is, you kind of have to look at it, look at what we've been going through in the past 14 months with this pandemic, right? We've all been kind of forced into a little bit of a, kind of a self-reflection stage. That's something that shouldn't be taken lightly, especially now that things are kind of opening back up. We can kind of start to move a little bit more freely, make some moves, make some decisions, hopefully better our lives and get back to normalcy. So getting back into it, first of all, if this is your second video watching, I appreciate it. If you're subscribed, awesome. If not, consider it. But just to kind of take you back to the first video, right? I know that was more of an introductory video. Didn't really have a topic to talk about. I was just kind of rambling, as I do. And I mentioned I wanted to make sure, going forward, I have like more of a topic, something to really dive into, right, and have a little bit more of a structure with it. That way I don't ramble, because that is definitely a personal trait of mine. So I do have an outline here that I'm kind of going off of. I'll probably put that down in the description just in case anyone wants to kind of take a look at that. But that's kind of what I'm going to be going off here. Going back to that, self-enlightenment, right? Why it's important. Why I think it's more important now than ever. I think a lot of us we're kind of forced to be by ourselves more than we have been before, at least. Kind of causing us to, kind of look inward, have some realizations, whether we were looking for them or it would just smack us right in the face. And that's what I mean with self-enlightenment. If you look back what happened around March last year, we all thought that this was going to be a kind of a 3-month thing. It was just one of those, a lot of us got to go work from home. I know me, when I was told I'm working from home, I'm thinking, all right, bet, a month and a half working from home, I like that. I'm not going to be ready to go back, and now here we are. I literally just finished work for the day, and I busted out the camera, still working from home. 14 months of that's a very long time. A lot of us, have similar situations to that. Maybe they lost their job. So now they're not going in every day for a certain purpose, or, to collect their check or anything, like to provide for their families. Things like that's rude as hell. Some of us lost their jobs, were furloughed, were laid off. That kind of takes away from, the daily routine, waking up, getting dressed, going to work, clocking in, clocking out so you can provide for your family. Some of us already were living alone in your apartments, in your houses, whatever it might be. Then you kind of add that to, not being able to work. Either not being able to work, or like for me, working from home but living alone, and then also not being able to move around. Can't go see friends, couldn't go. If you remember in March, that time in March, it was a ghost town anywhere you went. It was almost like if you went out on the street just to go to the gas station to get some water or something. I don't know about y'all, but for me, I felt like, man, I'm breaking the law right now. Somebody's going to stop me. Police might stop me, ask me what the hell you doing, take your ass home. So that's kind of how we've all felt. We really felt boxed in, and a lot of things I think that were in our daily lives were taken from us. In terms of being forced into some type of isolation, there are a lot of different levels of that and different ways that might have looked. Maybe you were with a spouse or a significant other, and once this all kind of happened, that could have been part of the self enlightenment between one of the two. That it's like, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore, which sucks. But I know it's out. It's been out there. I know it's happened for others. Maybe it made that relationship stronger, but that's a whole different, whole different topic. But I think what this has done is kind of forced us to look inward a little bit. After a while, there was less and less people to interact with except ourselves. Across the board, there was so much of our daily lives that now became a non-factor. You start to interact with yourself a little bit. Any outlook you have on life, perspective you have on life, or experiences that you have can be influenced by others, their opinions. Others' opinions become your opinions. Of course, we still have, TV and media and things like that. There's still other sources that we get on a daily basis when it comes to the way that we think. Being forced to interact with ourselves, we're coming up with our own assessments on things. And as we spend more time with ourselves, listening to ourselves, really, we start to realize how much of our decisions might have been based on others, other things, other activities. I do this on this day because I want to go play basketball. I want to work out. I go to the bar that day. My friends do this, so I do this, right? So now we're doing things for ourselves. We're been forced to be more autonomous. After a period of time, you're going to start seeing things about yourself. You're going to start learning things about yourself. You're going to start seeing things that you were doing in the past before the pandemic that maybe it just it came more clear to you that, man, I really missed that. Once I can do that again, I can't take that for granted again. Maybe it's something that was, I don't really need to do that shit anymore. But the point I want to make here is that self-enlightenment is not always, or any type of enlightenment, realizations, is not always comfortable. So the term enlightenment in general, it always has a positive connotation, right? Uh, and I would have to agree that enlightenment in general is a good thing. It represents the I guess it represents the clarity needed to grow and evolve. But where a lot of us get bamboozled, straight up duped by the term, is it comes from our tendency to exclusively associate enlightenment with feelings and emotions of positivity, just great feelings. Oh, it's all bubbles and things like that, glitter and bubbles. Oh, I see the world now. No. That's a trap. That is an absolute trap. I think enlightenment and specifically self-enlightenment, it can feel good. It can feel good, but it it doesn't always feel that way. Enlightenment has no bias towards our emotions or feelings and how it makes us feel. It doesn't exclusively cater to the joy center of our brain. It's a you know in terms of exclusiveness, it's a no strings attached relationship. It only gives you, it's gonna make you feel how you feel. It's a good thing, but it doesn't care how you feel. It's like when you can really value someone as a friend when when you go to them for advice, they're gonna give you their insight, their perspective. They're gonna give you their advice, not necessarily what you want to hear. They're gonna tell you what you need to hear, and it's not always comfortable, but that's a good friend right there. Enlightenment, I'm telling you, enlightenment is here for us. All right, enlightenment has our best interests in mind. And that's important. I mean, that's important to realize when you learn something that just might be essential to, your growth or possibly saving your life. Okay. My homie Rach just decided to ruin my video by sending me a jabber. This is why I need to get my own personal laptop so I don't get the riffraff over here. And I'm gonna send this shit to her too. Don't you worry. I'm talking shit. I'm gonna type back real quick though. Take 5, everybody. Basically famous now. You was a clown and you capping. You cut off. All right, let's get back to this. I just think it's very important to realize and accept that these periods of self-enlightenment, realizations, whatever it might be, whatever you want to call it, you have to know that it can be uncomfortable. Otherwise, I think a lot of times when these things come around and they don't make us feel good because, we kind of, the mirror was put up to ourselves and we didn't like what we see, we kind of run from it. And this is not the time to do that, I don't think, especially as we're getting back to some normalcy. The question you got to ask yourself, are you going to go back to what you were doing? Or are you going to make some changes? Are you going to, go ahead and chase that thing, that dream that you wanted to, shed some of the toxicity in your life, get back in the gym, or whatever it might be? This is the time to not run from those uncomfortable feelings, which is, I understand, I get it. We've been so conditioned to kind of move away from anything that makes us feel uncomfortable, makes us feel bad or whatever. Fight or flight type of human response when a possible threat is presented to us. Here's the thing: the same way enlightenment does not, have an exclusive contract with the joy center of our brain, which I'm not even sure is an actual scientific term. Might have to fact check that. An opposed threat is not exclusively catering to the pain center of our brain. In fact, there are a lot of things out there that make us feel good might be quite detrimental to our health. You can, I don't have to list them off, but that could be all of our vices. They feel good, but they're really messing us up. So I say that just to kind of show that correlation between that associated feeling and something that is good and that's something that is bad. Involving too much emotion, feeling, things of that nature in the relationship between self and enlightenment. When those feelings are adverse or negative, there are two outcomes that I see it having, both being kind of cheating ourselves. So the two scenarios, and I am a psychology major, but I am no psychologist or psychiatrist, so don't sue me, I guess. But yeah, I'll have this little outline, especially this part. It's gonna be in the description, so if you want, take a look. So first thing, light bulb goes off in your head. Your associated feeling is the first method of analysis. Association is deemed adverse, negative. At that point, there's no further analysis. That enlightenment that came to your subconscious now stays in your subconscious. That's a flight response. That's running away. Or at least that's what I'm calling flight in these scenarios. Second, light bulb goes off in head. Explore the meaning. You explore it a little bit. You're like, okay, what's going on here? What does this mean? To the point where, oh shit. I finally see now. This makes sense. It makes sense. I know what's going on now. Next thing that happens, your associated feeling is your method of valuation. So you did the right thing analyzing, exploring the meaning logically before using emotion to analyze. You use logic. Congratulations. Enlightenment attained. You see what's going on now. Someone told you about yourself, or yourself told you about yourself. Your associated feeling is your method of valuation. So, does this make me feel good or does it make me feel bad? I'm uncomfortable. Therefore, the value of what I just learned about myself is for the birds. I don't need it. I don't want it. There's too much stress in my life, and this is just making it worse. I don't like this shit. I'm out. The last part here, enlightenment is now consciously, so it's in your conscious now. You drew it out of your subconscious. It's consciously disregarded now. That's the fight response in my synopsis. Others can see it, can flip it, see it other ways, but you did all the right things. You explored the meaning of the light bulb going off in your head. You attained this enlightenment. You kind of know what you need to do. You kind of know where you've been messing up. But how you value this new information about yourself is the way it makes you feel. Which more often than not, I'm telling you, self-enlightenment does not feel good. And at that point, the association, it's negative, it's adverse. You don't like it, you don't need it. So I'm going to take this enlightenment and I'm going to boot that shit out the door. That's the fight response. You fought your growth. You played yourself. Congratulations. I mean, obviously, emotion and feelings and stuff like that, it's important. We can't just completely disregard those things. But I just think in these situations, especially given the times we're in and what we're seemingly exiting, getting back into the norm, a lot of you guys have seen some things about yourself. Now's the time to get that shit going so you're ready to go, firing on all cylinders. I think it's really important to let objective reasoning kind of take the driver's seat on this one. Because enduring the discomfort that might be necessary for that growth, for that growth and evolution, it might be necessary if you intend to take this information and change your life. In conclusion, not sure if this is if that's helpful. But I think that's the first step. And the reason why that this kind of came to my mind is because that's what's been happening. That definitely happened a lot during this pandemic. It continues to happen for me personally. And I'm trying to just, continue to take the discomfort and follow the information that I'm coming up with that is actually good information, right? And kind of propel myself into where I'm supposed to be. So, yeah. I guess that's episode 2. We made it. I mean, I'm not canceled yet, so I'll take that as a win. For anyone is subscribed to the channel, obviously, thank you. I almost feel weird, bringing that up. If you're not, consider it. If you want to know what comes next, if you feel like you've been seeing some things in your life and you don't know what to do with it, you might want to, you might want to subscribe. Go ahead and share the video if you felt like this helped you and it could help somebody else. If there's anything in here that you feel like you disagree with or you agree with, I'd love to hear about it. I started the channel to get people thinking, right? I'm on that journey too. I'm trying to open things up for myself. So if there's anything in here that you feel like helped or didn't help, or you disagree with, like Deacon Speaks, who the hell do you think you are? You're not qualified to talk about any of this shit. Go ahead and let me know. I'd like to know. I think that'll be helpful going forward. So, yeah, till next time, y'all. Peace.